We are a mentally ill, degenerate, backstabbing, knuckle-dragging group of surly, entitled know-it-alls that follow the false left-right paradigm. We warehouse our old people to die and don't take care of them. We abort 50 million of our children because we don't want the responsibility, not knowing we're destroying a wonderful thing. Even when you have children, people still take it as a liability, something that's bad. The media tells you that over and over again. So because you don't put energy into it, it turns out being a bad thing. I run into so many parents, have teenage children, and they say, I've just cut them loose. I'm just not worrying about them. I'm just going to let them get in trouble. I'm just going to let them go to jail. I'm just going to let them. I mean, I love my family so much that I would... that's one of the few areas morally that I'd have big questions, because I'd cheat and steal for my family. I have never had to, but I'll just be honest with you. It comes absolutely first. In fact, it's probably a sin. I think my family, most of the time, my mental view shifts from day to day, but my family, I know probably put them even before God, and that's bad. But I am a fleshly, worldly person, and I've transcended almost all the flesh except my family. I'm tied to it. It's who I am. I've said other times that I would, I put fighting the New World Order first, even at the expense and danger of my family. So in a way, I do put God first. I do put doing the right thing first. But doing the right thing tends to be the good thing for your family to begin with. What I mean is, by what I just said, is I go back and forth mentally. They say thinking a thing is the thing. I think about, man, I could just sell everything I own and go live in some third world country, and it'll probably be dangerous and bad too, but at least I won't have my head on the chopping block. But I just can't even begin to move in that direction. And my gut tells me, and my gut's never wrong, my gut tells me, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out of here, get out of the United States. Let all the good old boys and know-it-alls and establishment people have their new world order. Let them drink the fluoride, let them take the shots, let them eat the GMO food till their guts bust. Your family comes first. But my gut, my flesh tells me get out, but God tells me stay in. And there's duality. There's multivariate, multifaceted thoughts and processes in man. So some would see it as contradictory, saying my family, a lot of times my mind comes before even doing the right thing or God. But then I said, but I have never done the wrong thing in the name of my family. But I know that is a weak spot I've got. I'm actually a very violent, barbarous, primitive person. We all have that aspect to us. And, some people would see it as a strength or a strong point. I don't see it as that. I know with total commitment and certainty, anybody does anything to my family, I'm not going to control myself. But in that is strength, folks, the fact that you're not going to give in anymore and you're not going to back off. And that you're committed. And they say that, you have the family unit, the nuclear family, and then out that side you have your neighborhood and then your city, your county. And you do reap what you sow, and that's why I see everybody as my family. I do. And not in some sappy sense, not in some Bill Clinton, I feel your pain. I see people. I see other people's children as my family, and it's not in some Hillary Clinton village way where the state comes in and, it's the arbiter and the controller. All I'm saying is I've noticed a lot of my fellow Americans enjoy seeing somebody else fall down, enjoy seeing rich people fall, enjoy seeing their competitors hurt. And I do not take pleasure in that. I mean, I can enter into that psychological agency in my intellect, but it's mainly only like experiencing the pleasure of enemies being defeated from afar. The only satisfaction I have in seeing bad things happen in the New World Order is that it lets me know they're human, they're not invincible. You know, when I was younger, I didn't worry about growing old, and then when I got a little bit older, I did worry about death and growing old, and a little bit of vanity entered into it. But now, more and more, I realize it's a great thing. The experience of growing old, being humbled by your body falling apart. Being humbled and being aware of the fact that you are finite in this body, on this plane of existence, and that it's so short. And that what truly lasts is your deeds and what you do and your name and what you build for others. It's called good old-fashioned hospitality. I love cooking a meal and placing it before friends. I like buying friends dinner. And it's only because I have my head screwed on straight in that respect that I understand ministering and nurturing and nourishing those that I like is the truest human expression of what we are meant to be. And so the enemy tries to take that instinct we have and say, that's right, pay more taxes, help the poor. But they take that money and hurt the poor with it. So you can't just do the right thing in and of saying, well, they say it's a good thing, so I'm going to do it. You have to analyze what you're doing intellectually and then do the right thing. It takes time. It takes energy. It takes dedication. It takes commitment. It takes research to do the right thing, to know what's happened. But it also takes discernment. The more you commit to the truth, the more you open up to the truth, the more you look at the truth of yourself and the truth of the bad things you've done, the more your mind will then open up to accept greater truths, deeper truths. You ever had a bad thought about something embarrassing that happened to you many years ago, or something embarrassing, something bad you did? Maybe nobody even knows what you did, but you're still embarrassed about it. You have that guilt. That conscience is the basic programming of humanity. A crime against the tribe. You know what wrong is, even if the TV tells you it's not a wrong. And a lot of people flinch from thinking about bad memories, and they run away from it. Whereas I don't flinch from bad memories. I dive into them. I want to re-experience that. I want to understand it. I want to understand why my mind blocks it out. I want to open it up. I want into my mind. I want to see it all. I want to experience it all. And does that not mean that I'm not all over the map? That I don't sink into primitive behavior? You know, we have the hills, we have the valleys, we have the mountains. It doesn't mean I'm sitting up here judging or talking about being some high and mighty intellect. I'm telling you, there's so much more to you. So much more that you can experience. So much more that you can do. You have power. You innately are made in the image of the Creator of the universe. And you have been given free will. And free will is not about big plasma screen TVs and Cadillacs. Free will is not about baubles and trinkets of power and signets of rank and unending competitiveness. Free will is about knowing yourself and knowing others. And let me be clear, I'm not saying that wanting nice things is bad. That's the first step in being secure, feeling secure, being able to take care of yourself, protect yourself, to have a keep, a nest, a fortress, a home, a stronghold, to have friends, to have your mate, to bring into the world the next generation of humans, to set them on the path of goodness and righteousness And it's a hard road, especially in these dark days, these latter days. It is appointed for a man to only live once and then to die. It is appointed for a man to live 75 years and then to die. And death is the great mystery. It is the great equalizer. And the New World Order thinks they're going to escape death. They're not. They can roll out some quackery of computer neural interfaces and claim that that is the body and the soul of the king, of the Lord, of the elite. But it is not. It is a fraud. And so these great workers of evil will fall. And all that they have built will fall into ruin. It will fall into dust. And all of us will be punished in this life for the sins we've committed. That's the truth about the universe. You don't have to wait to die before you're punished. We will all be punished for the crimes we've committed against humanity, for the crimes we've committed against ourselves. There is justice. And that's why I fear God. Because I know that God only wants good things for us. But there are rules. And we do it to ourselves when we commit these crimes against the basic code, the basic human family. And God only steps out of the way. God only removes his protection from the wicked, from nations, from peoples, from families. And this is a wicked nation. This is a blasphemous, rotten, stinking corpse of a country. There's still a lot of good left in it. But the darkness is growing fast. The rotten flesh of the world is blackening and dripping